Okay, so we arrive at this legal issues and ethics. Okay, so if you are aware of, you're not aware, there is some ethical guidelines and some code of conduct in counseling. If negligence, we can see here, is caused to clients in counseling relationship because the law relating to malpractice was not clear. Okay, so this is to safeguard the public against irresponsible counselors. Counseling activities provide an umbrella for counselors who are dedicated to promote counseling. So what I'm saying, sometimes yes, if the person is not having license, you are not supposed to give counseling, but you can do some basic skills in counseling, and we call that as a lay counselor, or just bimbingan. You are giving them bimbingan. That is okay. Okay. First, we want to make sure that the public interest is safeguarded from malpractices. Okay, and want to ensure that those receiving this kind of service has really received the service from certified person. Okay, number two is to ensure that and monitor that the person is qualified, right, as a professional counselor. Okay, number three is maintaining and keeping up its high professional standard to the society. So we want to make sure that service is okay. We want to safeguard the counselor, you yourself, okay, as a counselor, and we want to safeguard the public interest, okay, in ensuring that they are receiving the right kind of service. Therefore, the Counselling Act ensures that the field of counseling is fully committed and protected in taking care of well-being of the society. Okay, because so many person out there can claim that they are the counselor, but they are not. Okay, reason for ethical code apa rasa-rasa? Apakah dia punya sebab perlu ada ethical code? Okay, kita nak regulation, itu yang pertama. Yang kedua, kita nak ada control. Okay. Yang ketiga, kita nak melindungi. So, ada rules, ada peraturan, ada control, ada perlindungan. Itu maksudnya untuk ethical code. Okay. There are difficulties in enforcing ethical codes. Okay. There may be conflict within the standards delineated by the codes. Okay, dia maksudnya macam ni. Some of the codes that have been set make us follow, okay, the code of ethics in counselling. But sometimes other things appear, okay, in the practice that's outside or beyond the ethical codes. So that's where the problems come. There is a loophole. Okay, even though you can see here, even though we have ethical codes, and sometimes still there is issue on the codes, okay, or on the brand practice and so on and so forth. What more when we don't have ethical codes? So counsellor can do whatever they want. Okay, they can disclose the information, they can share the information or the secrecy. They don't respect confidentiality. Okay, they can advise here and there based on just personal interest. Okay.
Doktor.
Yeah.
Kalau yang kes baru-baru ni lah yang pasal kes Ain tu dengan cikgu dia tu.
Oh, saya tak tahu. Cerita sikit.
Kalau yang itu dia ada etika juga, macam sebab kan
Sabrina,
Yang
saya tak aware kes tu. Kes apa tu?
Yang kes Nur Ain tu, yang kat mana cikgu dia ajar pasal tajuk pendidikan seks macam tu lah, pendidikan jasmani. Maksudnya lah, lepas tu cikgu tu macam ada sebut, dia macam dalam dia mengajar tu dia ada buat sexual jokes yang macam student perempuan ni macam rasa macam tak betul lah. Yang tu.
Then what happened?
What happened is Ain tu dia buat macam awareness dekat dia punya video TikTok and macam viral, and then nak saman lah cikgu tu.
Okay.
Rasanya dia menang kes. Dia menang kes tu lah. Saman tu terhadap cikgu tu. Mungkin sebab masa cikgu tu mengajar, dia macam dia tak set the boundaries, cara dia bercakap ataupun penyampaian dia tu salah. Macam tu lah.
Yes, Sabrina, betul. Sometimes we have to know, we have to set the boundaries clearly before we discuss on certain sensitive issues. Okay, so make sure you prep the students. Okay, you can prep the students that, okay, what we're going to discuss is something that is beyond normal, and I hope you are ready. And if you are not feeling comfortable, let me know or stop me. Okay, so maybe that is one of the way. Tapi mungkin saya pun tak pasti apa kes dia, saya tak tahu secara mendalam. Mungkin saya tengok ni on surface je kan, dan kalau saya cerita ni mungkin saya berat sebelah lah, saya tak tengok dua-dua side. Tapi apa-apa pun mungkinlah the way you yang Sabrina ceritakan tadi tu, mungkin kesalahan daripada sudut guru tu, mungkin dia menggunakan bahasa yang kurang sesuai ke, dia buat joke tentang private parts ke, I don't know. Okay, dan dia memalukan student yang dia address tu ke di halayak ramai. Kalau ada perkara-perkara tersebut, maka dia dah melanggar lah etika. Tapi saya tak tahu konteks dia macam mana, apa yang berlaku dari sudut dua-dua pihak. Yes, so mungkin yang saya boleh komen je kat sini adalah prepping the student lah, dan use appropriate language. Especially when you want to address something that is sensitive. Our private parts, okay, our body parts, okay, interactions, lepas tu sexual punya issues. Okay, you don't main-main lah on that kan. Kita kena professional. Okay, kita tak sebut burung contohnya. Kalau kita sebut private part, kita sebut betul-betul that is zakar, faraj dan sebagainya. You terangkan dengan serious. Okay, it's not something that is funny. Okay, you have to know that. Okay, so perlu ada professionalism dalam semua ini, supaya inilah kita nak saman menyaman ni pening kepala kan. Kita nak buat kerja pun susah nanti. Dan kita yang selalu tema-tema yang selalu berlaku dalam counselling punya practice. So unethical adalah something, this is the most common lah, and unfortunately some of you also experience it when I asked initially in our first class, okay, your experience with counselling services, some experience this, okay, violation of confidentiality. Instead of dia cerita dekat counsellor, the whole sekolah tahu. Okay, let me clarify. Okay, sometimes yes, counsellor ada bincang dengan counsellor yang lain. Okay, untuk especially kalau perkara itu beyond dia punya expertise ataupun dia punya limitation of knowledge lah, ataupun dia perlukan bantuan daripada dia punya teamwork, team leader kita panggil, ataupun sometimes dia punya superior lah, dia punya senior punya officer ataupun senior punya teacher lah. So it's okay kalau discuss macam tu dalam konteks betul-betul dua-dua memahami kepentingan menjaga kerahsiaan tu. Number 3, sexual activity with the client. Lagilah salah besar. Okay, dia ada affair, dan it's very unfortunate if this thing happen. when you develop, you yourself as a counselor, you develop some feelings towards the client, and the client also do the same, and then you consciously do that. Lagilah, very wrong. Okay, number 4, exceeding one's level of professional competency. Okay, ini sama macam number 2. Okay, okay, sama. Number 5, imposing one's value on a client. Okay, ini kadang-kadang sedar, kadang-kadang tak sedar. Okay, then it is unethical lah. Okay, we have to expect values on client, and you are not supposed to impose your own values towards the client. Okay, you have your values, the client also have values. It's just that we have to acknowledge and respect each other. Okay, certain conflict of interest, such as dual relationship. Okay, this happens when the counselor is as well maybe some of your relative, and as well as you have someone yang nakkan sesuatu in return. So we call it as conflict of interest. Okay, ataupun dual relationship. Very tak boleh juga. Selalunya counselling ni dia tak boleh berlaku dalam keluarga. Maksudnya you nak counsel, you as a counselor nak counsel you punya adik. Kadang tak jadi. Tak boleh. Sebab you dah memang kakak. Kakak you kenal adik, dan you ada bias you sendiri terhadap you punya adik. So selalunya kita refer kepada counselor yang lain lah. Okay, family ni. Okay, advertising. Dia jual ubat. Ataupun dia jual apa benda, device ke apa benda, produk yang lain ke apa ke, dalam counselling dia. Dia push pula klien dia suruh ambil. Salah. Tak boleh. Okay, unethical. Dependency. Okay, we are not supposed to make the client depend on us. Okay, we are supposed to give them room to grow on themselves. Okay, so itu pun tak bagus juga dan unethical. So we must make them able to stand on their feet. Okay, excessive fees. Okay, yang ni kadang-kadang depending on the company lah. Kalau private practice dia ada beberapa fees, then it's because of the fees. But we are charging again and again excessive, maksudnya terlalu banyak dan terlalu mahal. Beyond, contohnya dia sepatutnya sesi tu dalam sejam je, dia charge sampai 3 jam punya rate. Itu questionable lah. Kenapa menjadi macam tu? Mesti kena ada reason. Okay, selalunya by hour. So by hour dia ada certain rate dan certain ni. But case by case mungkin juga ada beberapa case yang perlukan assessment ni mendalam lagi. Itu dia akan ada fees yang extra, but not too much. Not too much.